Oh, hey, what's going on, everybody? Anthony Davis here. I'm gonna ready to do my Bleach review, and then my second video is gonna be about me talking about the Naruto review, which I really shouldn't talk about the Naruto review much because I mean the chapter's complete crap. I'm sorry, literally it was shit. All I talked about was shit. I'll explain later. For now, let's get on to Bleach, chapter 109. Now, in the beginning of this chapter, it was actually it was pretty good fighting. It was pretty decent. Kind of like the whole thing with like um Yamamoto's Bankai, Zakanotachi North. His you know its power for the Zakanotachi North. It was a little bit overwhelming, to be honest. Not to say that it's not, Zakanotachi the Bankai itself is actually really good. It's just, you have these three abilities, and then you get to the last one. It's kind of like just okay, that's we get all this, and then all of a sudden we get just a one little slash. But I digress. What happens in this chapter is that Juha Bach is basically being attacked by the undead army from the last chapter. But what is really interesting about this is that not only are these actually all undead people, they were victims of Yamamoto, but also they were um, Juhabak's um, deceased men, and it's like whoa, he actually like sees his old um, comrades in in their faces. He's like, whoa, that's Hubert. That's I know this guy, and I know this guy, and then you know and Yamamoto was like, you should probably like that's before he actually like tries to like you know hit him or whatever and try to get him out of his way. That's when Yamamoto was like, well, do you sure you want to like go around and hit these undead guys like that? I mean, take a good look at them. Just you might know somebody you know. It might be somebody you know. Just saying, just thinking about it. And he just it's what was really like it's just showing me that Yamamoto actually is being a lot cocky, and he's also being like a bit more cruel in this as well, because here he has his entire army, and he's basically telling Juha Bach that the only way you can get to me, you got to fight all these guys, and they're like tons of them. So it's like Yamamoto's just like chilling in the background. He's like I'm going to let them kill you or whatever. And then Juha Bach, he actually gets a little bit more, actually starts getting nervous. How? It's because when he was trying to get rid of all the zombies or whatever, he is basically like telling Yamamoto like how this is kind of ironic for like a Shinigami to be using the undead like this or whatever. It's a disgrace. What he's basically saying is that we're supposed to save lives, we're supposed to like save souls and all that stuff, and yeah, we're bringing back the dead. But what's really contradicting is that Grim Reapers, or AKA Shinigami, have the ability to raise the dead. So it's like, it's kind of the same thing anyway. I would expect a Soul Reaper to actually use the ability, and I'm surprised Yamamoto was the one that used it, because he was based on like you know fire and just being like this fire god. You know what I mean? It's like you're surprised about like how Yamamoto has all these amazing fire abilities, and then he uses his third ability to raise the dead, and it's like it's really interesting. And then when Yamamoto, Juabak actually reaches Yamamoto, Yamamoto ends up using his Zakanotachi North, and I think it was like, well, how did this word go? I gotta go back online, look, check out again what the um what it was called. It was called It was called Tenshi Tachino something. I can't remember. I gotta look back on it again just to be sure. I don't want to like make sure everything is like want to be accurate in this review. There goes some fan art for Ginjo in his Bankai form. Yeah, that's the one thing I kind of really didn't like is that like in the Fullbring art we saw like a little bit backstory of what happened with you know Ginjo and Tsukishima, but we never like got a full backstory. But I do wonder that since they're bringing the ancient Kurosaki story into this final arc, will Ginjo still be in this flashback or not? Because I mean, we don't know exactly how long Genjo was a Shinigami or how long did he quit, or leave. So it's just another question I think I hope Kubo explains. If he doesn't, then I guess it just means that Genjo was just simply there just to give Ichigo just to help Ichigo get his powers, then takes him away, then have him get his powers back again. That's basically what his thing was. Tenchi Kaijin, yeah, Tenchi Kaijin, which means heaven and earth to ashes and nothingness. And then that's when he uses like this big slash and like he basically cuts like Juha Bach up something, like his whole arm is gone and like half his body is just disintegrated. Like you just see like only this part right here, like a little bit of chunk of this part right here is still like intact. So it's like, if he were to like to move to like the right or the left, like that jink will just snap off easily. And it's like, damn, like that's some crazy stuff. And then you kind of think to yourself, well, damn, he's supposed to be like the Quincy leader. How is he supposed to lose so quickly? But then, at the end of the chapter, we hear Juha Bach, or so we thought, claiming that, I'm sorry I failed Juha Bach Sama. So that means either Juha Bach has been basically falsely using his real Majesty's name, or there could be another Juha Bach, and maybe that's just his son, or something like that. But that's just really interesting, is that Juha Bach is not who he says he is. He's not. I guess either he's not the true leader, or he's the son of the true leader. You never know. Maybe there's a Juha Bach Jr. Just saying. I mean, this chapter actually does raise a lot of questions. It gives you thinking about who the real Juha Bach is and where is he at, and you also kind of wonder if Juha Bach may be the blonde hair kid, the blonde hair Quincy, because to be honest, he seemed a lot more calmer than Juha Bach. I mean, way too calm, to be honest. I mean, how like at first he kind of was like, Your Majesty, but he only said Your Majesty. He didn't like really like was like nervous and like that. He was just basically screaming out to him. Like, I guess maybe he's like put on the show. I guess maybe because maybe he's like a shadow or a double, like of the real Juha Bach, like how they do with other shows, like just something where like a person you think is that person, but then all of a sudden, if that person were to die or get injured, then the real person shows up, because the imposter died, something like that. But this chapter was really good. Gives you a lot of questions. Oh, I almost forgot. In this chapter, we finally reveal how the Quincy's are able to steal Bankais. Apparently, if they analyze the Bankai long enough, analyze his abilities, know how much limit is on the Bankai, then they can easily steal it. But the reason why they aren't able to steal Ichigo is because Ichigo just got his Bankai in no less than 2 years, whereas the captains and lieutenants have had their Bankais for like ever. But what really confuses me is that Renji had just mastered his Bankai almost the exact same time as Ichigo did. So it's kind of like, wait a minute, he was able to, I mean, but his Bankai hasn't been stolen yet. Renji's has not been stolen yet, but they have been thinking like, would they be able to steal Renji's Bankai? That's the question. Well, do they know the limits of his Bankai? Because I mean, his Bankai can still be develop too. I mean, it can still evolve just like Ichigo's can. And then it gets me thinking that, well, Sofon has learned her Bankai, but her Bankai is simply a missile. Like, you know, that's the limit to her Bankai, just being a missile. Like, there's no, you know, second form. But maybe because like she's already mastered it to the point where she just doesn't want to use it. Period. Because she's a stealth force member. She's not gonna use her Bankai 24/7 just for like one hit kills. It's like a last resort Bankai. Um, I guess Toshiro must have like developed his Bankai fully as well, so did Komamura, because I mean, there's not much to develop for Komamura. His is like a giant samurai, so it's like, you know, there's not really much to be developed unless it gets in like a different form. With Byakuya's, I guess there's a limit to Byakuya's power because he had already mastered it, and I guess apparently he wasn't able to like live through it through his own Bankai. That's it's kind of sad that he is lost in battle. We lost another captain in battle, and I guess Chojiro, his Bankai was around for like he mastered his Bankai like years, like many years. Even when Yamamoto didn't even have 13 core God Squad yet, so of course they're gonna know what his Bankai is too. And the only reason why they were able to steal Yamamoto's is because his Bankai it only showed like half its strength. Unless the Bankai has been shown like its full power, they can't steal it. Or if it's not fully developed, they can't steal it. That's really interesting. And it makes me wonder like how many Bankais have they researched? Have they researched all of them? Or maybe they just researched the captains and maybe lieutenants as well. Because like I said, Renji had just mastered his Bankai the same time as Ichigo did. Not the exact same time though, but in the exact same time period where like Renji had just, mastered his Bankai, and then Ichigo came in and he, mastered his Bankai like the second, like, he was second to master his Bankai in that time. Or maybe Renji has already mastered it, but he just needed to develop it a little more or something like that. I don't know. It just, there's a lot of questions and a lot of stuff I hope Tatakubo puts into it, but Tatakubo is doing like an excellent job. He knows what he's talking about. He knows how to get the reader to like be like, surprised and shocked. The only thing I can't really like is the Zakano Tachi North. It's kind of underwhelming. It's like we expect that, something big, but I guess it was just another sword slash. So why didn't he just use Zakano Tachi? I think was it east or west? I think west was the fire, and then east was the the precision blade. Oh well. Tell me what you guys think of the chapter. Did you guys like it? Did you guys enjoy um find out that Juha Bach may not be who he says he is? And we guys also underwhelmed of Yamamoto's fourth ability for Zakano Tachi? In the comments below, tell me what you guys think. And also follow me on Twitter. If you guys want to like talk about anime stuff or anime, toku, Super Sentai, Power Rangers, anything like that, then just hit me up on there or hit me up on YouTube. All right, see you guys later. Peace, sayonara, and remember, in order to get to the good stuff, you got to get past bullshit. Take care.